So much fun watching the kids leave. I like it. Beautiful. Thank you for having me back. I don't know if many of you had a choice, but I'm here, so now you get to deal with it for the next few minutes here. So last week, if you were here, we talked about Jesus, of course. We talked about the love. We talked about just His compassion and the way He looks at us and how we're supposed to respond to that love. And I told you up front that I didn't write a new sermon for you. That's actually the first sermon in the series. We talked about what it would look like if Jesus stood in Macksville. Would we know Him? Would we accept Him? And those type of things. So what I decided to do means I was coming back the next week, and hopefully you kind of remember last week. If you don't worry. Most people forget them. It's okay. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to preach the second sermon of that series. It's also one of my favorites. And the title always gets people to go, like, I love watching people's reaction when they read that. Most of you are going, I get what you mean. There's a billboard, or used to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think it's finally been taken down. But it says, JesusDoesNotCare.com. Basically, if you go to the website, there's a forum where you can comment. Now, they explain a little bit, and I will explain that in a minute. But I want to read one of those comments to you right off the bat. It's from a 55-year-old female. It said, I think your billboard is very dangerous for the suffering. It explains nothing. Only gives the message, Jesus does not care. I have a 20-year-old son who passes by it every day on his way to work. And he is questioning Jesus and God at this very moment. In the past year, he's lost two who were very close to him. His best friend is suicide. 1 month later, his oldest brother to sleep apnea. Jesus does care about what he's going through. I ask you to reconsider the billboard. Here's the shocking revelation. That billboard was put there by a church. It's drawn a lot of visitors to this website, which has a feedback page. Many Christians assume it was put up by an anti-Jesus group. Others like the way it grabs non-believers. The church's position behind the billboard is Jesus doesn't care who you are, where you've been, what you've done, how good you are. He does care about knowing you and having a real relationship with you. When I was in Nortonville, as a part-time youth minister, I went up on the weekends in Nortonville, Kansas, way up by Atchison, St. Joe, Missouri, across the line up there, in northeast Oklahoma, way out in the middle of nowhere. Well, I was going to school out there. Well, the minister at the time, they had a sign right as you curved around the curve into Nortonville, that set there on the highway, and he liked to go out on Sundays and put the title of his sermons. Well, one Sunday, he got in a little trouble, because he walked out to the signboard and he put, "Kill all the adulterers." And he left it. And they asked him, "What's that about?" He said, "That's the title for my sermon Sunday." You just put "kill all the adulterers" on the highway outside the church. He wasn't allowed to change the sign anymore, needless to say, after that day. I wonder why. So I've never been a signboard person. I have a lot of fun reading the marketing signs that a lot of churches have. Like, what is it? Dirty Bibles lead to dirty lives. That's like one of my favorite. Or dusty Bibles lead to dirty lives. That's what it is. It's one of my favorites. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. I go on and on. But this one really grabs people's attention. But we do, as people, care about Jesus. I mean, that's why we're here. I mean, that's what we're doing here on Sunday morning. We care about Jesus. We care about who He is. And so, as we talk about this today, I want you to understand something. I agree with the statement on the board. I agree with the billboard. Jesus doesn't care who you are and where you've been. He doesn't care about your past. And we're going to break down some of that stuff here in just a little bit. But if you want to open up with me to Mark chapter 4. We're going to read a few verses there. We're going to kind of end abruptly even with this story. And we'll finish it up here in a little bit. Mark chapter 4, starting with verse 35. It says, "On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, 'Let us go across to the other side.' And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, 'Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing? Hey, dude that's sleeping, that has done miraculous things before, we're going to die, and you're sleeping. What's up with this? Do you even care? So let's start there. Can Jesus care? Because, we are talking about a guy that's been dead 2,000 years. Physically on this earth dead, right? Oh, he rose again. There's more to it than that. But even walking with him, sitting with him, I guess they weren't walking in the boat. That would be weird. You'd probably tip a canoe over, right, Tim? So he's probably with them, sitting in the boat, and they're still there, and they have their doubts. They've watched him do miracles, and they're still looking at this guy like, he doesn't even care. He's going to let us die. Small boat, fierce lake, Sea of Galilee. It's one of the windiest lakes they know about. They talk about the waves can whip up to just astronomical heights on this little lake. So they're crashing about, and Jesus snores away. Just sleeps. We had when I was growing up, May 3rd of 1999, to quote the date for you, because there was like 108 tornadoes in Oklahoma that day. And one of our little communities, told you I grew up in Mulhall, Orlando, it's two communities kind of combined, but Mulhall got wiped out by one of those tornadoes. We had a lady in our church at that time named Catherine Harris, who, the tornado come through the town, she lived next to the water tower. Water tower falls over, all the water rushes out, picks her house up off the foundation, moves about 10 feet. She woke up in the morning and realized her house had been moved. Yeah. Her bed was wet, and she slept through it. She told everybody, she said, I got baptized twice, and I only remember the second one. Get it? Okay. But here's this guy, middle of the windstorm, doing exactly what Catherine did, just sawing logs. Sleeping away. Some people in our society are much like these disciples. They question, how could he care? He's been dead 2,000 years, which means they ignore the stories of Easter. But he's dead, so how could he care? Which I guess is a reasonable response. How does something dead care about me? One of the fastest growing segments in our society, atheism. They have numerous books on the bestseller list lately. And they argue not just that God doesn't exist, but the people who think so are dangerous. So to say Jesus cares, which is what we do, is to assume that he exists in some form or fashion. And this is where we get in trouble. Because we assume something. And we're not allowed to assume. Right? That's what science tells us. You don't make assumptions, you have facts. I'm a big science person, just so you know. We can break that down some other time. That's why I don't believe in a lot of science that you see in science books, because they made assumptions and just call them facts. Like, that layer of dirt thing you see in your science books that tells you how many years old each layer of dirt is. How many assumptions are made and saying that those dirt layers are that old? Well, they throw out the 40-day flood, for one, because that just complicates things a lot. We're not allowed to assume things. Why are we not allowed to assume things? Because we need facts. And facts are how we get through things. But see, with faith, we do assume things. See, when you walked in this morning, you assumed something. When you came in to the sanctuary and you sat down. I didn't watch any of you turn to a pew, shake it, rock it a little bit, and then sit down in it. You assumed, you had faith that pew was going to hold the minute you plopped down in it. Right? You didn't question it. You assumed it. Now then, you tell people that say we don't make assumptions, these type of things. Like, well, that's just standard way. No, that's still an assumption. You assumed it was going to hold you. We make assumptions every day of our life without ever trying to. Ever. We don't think we're making assumptions, but we do it. Or else you would be one of the most paranoid people we've ever seen if you assume nothing. So to say that Jesus cares is to assume that he exists in some way. A 53-year-old male wrote on the website, "Jesus is dead. However, those who follow in his spirit care that they teach how to behave and love on this earth. In this life, instead of pontificating without any evidence about who is in charge of the afterlife. Let's assume he is alive for a moment. If he is alive, then Jesus doesn't care about or for the religion that was built up by those who came after him, including this church in Tulsa. He does not care about or for the suggestion that he is God, for which you have no proof or evidence. He does not care about or for the surreptitious way you are trying to get people into your church under the guise of you not caring where they are coming from or what sins they are committing. He does not care about or for the idea that the humans in the world that don't think he is God and save them from sin are going to burn in hell." That's a pretty broad statement to make about Christ. We believe that Jesus exists even today. We believe that on Easter he rose from the grave, physically, no body left behind. And he folded his towels and his clothing, he laid them. Does anybody know where he laid them? I did? Come on. This is a good time for you to answer. Anybody know? Foot. Do you know why he laid with the foot? You know why? It's a historical symbol saying, hey, don't make my bed up. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. It was a big guest relations thing. When people come to stay, they would fold their things up and they put them in a certain spot of the bed. Well, Jesus laid them there and said, I'm coming back. And praise God for that. Praise God that he wants to save this world still. Praise God that he sees enough love and compassion in us that he's like, I need those people. That shows me that he cares. That shows me that he loves us. So can Jesus care? Absolutely. But I want to go back for a minute. Let's talk about things he doesn't care about. Many people have some very firm ideas and issues about this. Okay, a 24-year-old woman wrote on the website, Jesus does not care about your age, gender, ethnicity, culture, sexual orientation, how many degrees one has, how big one's paycheck is, what kind of car one has, or how big one's house is. Jesus does not care where you've been, what you've done, who you've been with. He is always ready for you. And I agree with most of that statement. Notice I said most. It's not because it seems right to me, but because it is the way the Bible portrays him. Jesus doesn't care about a person's station in life. And we work so hard in our life to build up our fortune or our American dream here in this world. That's what we strive for. Some of us are known as workaholics because we're doing it so much of the day that it consumes our life. Jesus doesn't care about the fortune you amass. If you read through Scripture, Jesus dealt with poor people and rich people every day on his mission across the globe. Or as far as he could get on foot at least. He never looked at somebody and said, what's your average yearly income? Because that's going to make a difference whether I even talk to you. He didn't look at somebody and say, hey, you've got some pretty ragged clothes. The house you live in is broken down. I'm going to put you down here. I'm going to come minister to you, but I got some other people to take care of first. They might benefit me more. He didn't look at somebody and say, hey, you've got a lot going for you. Let me bring you to the light so you can do something for me, for our church. He looked at the person's heart and said, you're in darkness and you need light. You're in darkness and you need light. You need to become a tree that's bearing fruit. So as that person listed off all those things that Jesus doesn't care about, I agree, because they're in darkness. And once they find the light, that's when Jesus does care about those things. Now let's prune you. Now let's cut off the bad branches. Let's make you into something beautiful. Anybody in here ever grown grapes? If you do, they have to be pruned, or else the vines go nuts and they choke each other out. Okay? But it's one of the neatest fruits ever, because if pruned and then left alone, you know what grapes will do? They will continue to produce over and over and over. They can't help it. Let's talk about an apple tree. What happens to an apple tree? Okay, it grows up, it grows what? Pears? Apples. Okay, you can respond. This is okay. It grows apples. Okay, what's inside of an apple? Well, before the seeds is just some delicious fruit. It's amazing. Put some peanut butter. I mean, yes, you're right. Seeds. Okay, and so if nobody comes out and takes care of this apple tree, what happens to that apple? Falls. And then nature takes its course. We come along, we step on said apple, we mush it into the ground, and then what happens? You know why God asked us to bear fruit? Because fruit in and of itself can not stand, but to do anything but multiply. That's what fruit does. It doesn't need any help. It'll do it on its own, really. Maybe some wild animals here and there, but it will multiply. That's what fruit does. So he doesn't care about your station in life. He cares about how fruitful you are. He doesn't care about your past. He doesn't care where you've been. He doesn't care the lifestyle you grew up in. Because if he did, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. We heard a little bit of that last week. There's a lot more where it came from. I tell people all the time, we get to talk about things like, how do you know so much about that? I wasn't always a preacher. Okay, I wasn't always a good kid. I've done my share of really stupid things. I'm real easy to look at somebody and tell them, you've got some issues, you've got some drug issues we need to talk about. People are like, how do you spot that? I'm like, well, it's real easy to find them. I've been there, I know. I've scratched callus marks on my neck. All right? I've done it. If he cared that I did it, I wouldn't be here. But instead, I went to a bended knee, tear-soaked face, and said, please forgive me. He went, done. And I still sat there, please forgive me. He said, what are you talking about? I said, done. Now let's go make a difference. Get up and let's do something about this. So no, Jesus doesn't care about those things. What he does care about is what's happening in your life right now. Okay, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but if you don't believe this, you weren't here last week and watched the prayer that happened with George. Alright? I mean, that is a very current and prime example for you. He cares about what's going on right now. And we giggled at him because he stubbed his toe, and it hurt. He still cares. He cares about our heart. He cares about our aches and pains. He cares about the emotions and the ups and the downs we're going through on a daily basis. He wants to be walking right next to us through those events. And as cheesy as the footprint sermon is, and I'm sorry if you're a big fan of it, I think it's really cheesy. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. I've got a couple other things I think are really cheesy in Christian culture that will probably make you mad. As cheesy as it is, he wants to be right next to us, and he wants to be carrying us. He wants to be giving us a piggyback ride. Going, I know you're too weak right now, let me carry you. I think he also wants us to be that little kid on his back in the fun times too. Going, hey, run faster. Bet you can't drop me. I've got too tight a hold on you. I'll choke you out before you drop me, man. You've all had that kid on your shoulders. You know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, pick Isaiah up here a little bit. He'll choke you out. He cares about your relationship. He cares about your eternity. See, this is a tough one for me. Because when I decided I was going to become a preacher, I did an internship in my home church with the preacher I grew up with. His name was Gilbert Forrest. If any of you lived in Jewel in the 80s, you know him. He preached in Jewel, Kansas for a while. He's like another dad to me. He still lives there in Mulhall. He retired from the church, retired in Mulhall. He's actually back to preaching again. He can't quit. Doesn't know what to do with himself. They did an internship with him. He had this book, this stuff. It's the first time he'd ever done an internship with a kid. And he had me go through this book. We talked about time management, we talked about personal ethics, and we talked about a lot of stuff. And the very last question in this book, he said, you won't be dealing with people's finances. You won't be dealing with their relationships at home. You're going to be playing and dealing with their eternity. Can you handle that? And of course, the young 21-year-old was like, yeah, wait a second. You're not going to be messing with their life here on earth as much as I mentor and counsel through that, my ultimate goal is your eternity. Trying to usher you into the light, preach the gospel so that you understand what heaven is. Can you handle that? That's a tough question. It took me weeks to answer it. Because when you get to the heart of Jesus, that's what he cares about, is your eternity. As a minister, as a Christian, and as a fellow Christian, as a follower of Christ, that's our job, is people's eternity. So the next time we want to go hoop and holler and raise a ruckus, what does that eternity look like to the person next to you? That's a tough question. And for some people, as I went to Christian college, Katrina and I kind of talked about this, that idea made them abandon ship. I'm out. I'm done. I don't want that responsibility. And I'm sorry, guys. I may be the preacher, and I may have accepted that responsibility in an internship. But when you said, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I want to follow him every day, you made that same commitment. You said, I want to help people with their eternity. So you care about the things Jesus cares about. I guess here's the moment I run up and down the pews on your feet for a second. Do you care about the things Jesus cares about? What's happening in others' lives right now? Their relationship with him. Where they're going to spend eternity. Or right now, are you at that stage of what can Jesus do for me? You know, we would like to assume, as I said last week, that we would have been on Jesus' side back then. We would like to assume that we would have been walking with him, that we would have been sitting in that boat going, dude, wake up. And the rest of that story goes, is they wake him, and he looks at the storm and goes, shh. And the storm says, aye. So it doesn't matter where you're at in life. Jesus can go, shh, and calm your storm. How many times you heard that, right? It's the way every preacher preaches a sermon. You want Jesus to calm your storm in life? Wake him up. Bring him to life in your life. And that's great. But what I want to talk about is being that disciple in that boat and freaking out. Because we all do that too. We all get freaked out during the storm. Where's Jesus at? Why ain't he here? Well, if you never talk to your wife, is she going to come home at night? If you never spend a little time with her, you never buy her flowers, you didn't buy her a box of chocolates on Valentine's Day, is she going to want to cuddle later? No! But yet, Jesus better. Come on now. I know, this is a tough one to swallow. I preach it every time I'm going, man, Jake, shut up, you don't do this either. I struggle, we all do. But guys, you know, I don't know the future, what's going to happen between this relationship of you and I. But what I do know is that Jesus cares about both of us. So much so that if I ended my lifetime with you right now, and I got one opportunity to stand before you, it's right now. There's only one thing left to tell you. And when you catch on, join in. Because it goes all the way back to when you were a kid. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong, they are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. You learned the greatest thing in your life when you were a kid. And yet we as adults, it's a kid's song. Message is still the same. Jesus loves you. And your Bible tells you all about it. Open it. Form a relationship. And begin to care deeply about the same things that Christ cares about in your life. Pray with me. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to be in your house. We thank you for this beautiful group of people who come here to worship, to glorify, to exalt you. And God, we just ask now that no matter where we each go in life, no matter where you take us in life, that you help us to focus on the things that you care about. That we no longer assume that we'd be on your side, but we know without a shadow of doubt that we would have walked next to you, no matter how radical and crazy you seem in your day and age. That our compassion and love goes so much deeper for you than it does anybody else in this world. That we want to spend time with other people. We want to help them with their eternity. That we want to bring them to the light, out of the darkness, so they can begin to bear fruit that lasts. God, we thank you. In your Son's name we pray.